It's finale week here at the show, which means we're ending season 5 of Gimme of this show, and going on to a new season right after Labor Day. So, as we start, 166 new cases, 1 new deaths, 45 new deaths, 8,000. 38,000 people hospitalized since the 7th, and over 4,600 people have been in ICU. Vaccinations, 21.4 million on 1 dose, 17.8 million at 62.2%. But as the first day of school starts, there's actually a lot of people who have been vaccinated over the summer because now the vaccine is available to everyone. And that's really some great statistics when you look at something like this, because rarely that's really some great statistics to look at. And a lot of times many people have been scared to get vaccinated because of this and because of that. I really point to the people who say, well, it's against my religion. And if it's against your religion, then it's really against your religion. It will not be an excuse to some people if you probably say, well, it's against my religion too, but that's who I have to point to. And throughout the 2 years we've been talking about COVID, I've been telling you guys, let me tell you, over the 2 years I've talked about quarantine. Quarantine just basically means do not leave the area, period. Don't ever leave that area. Hold on a second. You shouldn't be leaving your area, period. Because if you do leave your area, you're going to probably get a blood pressure neck. A lot of times it could be a surprise. A lot of times it could be a surprise to some people, but when you're not, but quarantining yourself could be, you won't be able to spread it as much. I point the finger at Lisa Guerrero for breaking quarantine because all she did was just go out with her friends, go travel. That's a big no-no. You're not supposed to do that, period. If you do, then this happens, that happens, everyone gets COVID, we go back to square one. That's something that I do not want to do. I do not want to go back to square one. We have to close down Texas, go over this again, mask mandates and all. Even though Florida ISD is still at stage 2 protocol, which is good, we still have to face facts about people being quarantined and people making sure that they're following these rules. The rules specifically state that you need to make sure that you are vaccinated. And for those who have not been vaccinated, you need to do so right away. Because if you're not, you're probably the only person out there who will spread this disease. And once that disease has been spread, it's going to be too late to stop it unless someone steps up and says, I need to get vaccinated right away. What about those people who say it's against their religion? It's their choice. It's like the old saying, when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. That's how it is. And the wearing of a mask. Again, like I said before, the right way to wear a mask. The people just go under their nose, under the mouth, because they can't hear. It's not the right way to do it. You could be. That's how it was. You couldn't wear it like that, because you could spread. Because you could spread that disease. You could spread COVID if you wear it the wrong way. The right way to do it is to cover the bridge of the nose, right here. So again, we have to make sure we're doing these things. Masking up, social distancing, hand washing. It's a really big deal. Sink, hand wash, 20 seconds, soap and water. Hand sanitizers. Disinfect your area with Lysol or baby wipes. If you're quarantined, stay home. After the 5th day, get tested. If you're tested negative, you can go back with the paperwork. Transportation. Take precautions. Also, child's under 2, no masks. No masks at all. If your child has if you have a medical condition, let them know beforehand so that way they can understand. Also, don't leave quarantine. Stay at the house unless you gotta go take out the trash or go check out the mail. That's why I learned about quarantine. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I won't even talk about it. Okay. Alright, coming up next, our Back to School Greatest Hits continues with 2 of the greatest hits. Cheating and truancy. Some videos that I have not showed you. 2 clips. 2 to 3 clips from the principal's office. 3 clips. And some of the clips that I have showed you on the cheating episode. Don't go away. Our Back to School Greatest Hits continues with 2 of the greatest issues that I've ever talked about as we end Season 5. Cheating and truancy. Today, some videos that I've never played for you before about cheating. We have 2 or 3 from the principal's office. Let's start with 1 from Lemon Bag. Take a look.
Cheating is one of the dumbest things a kid can do, and it usually leads to the most humiliation. I'm doing some paperwork in the office, and in walks Matt with a referral for cheating. Matt, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I'm really disappointed in myself, mainly because I got caught.
What happened?
We were studying for the... Sorry. I started crying, trying to make it so he feels bad for me. She was like, okay, everyone pull out your stuff, because we're going to do a test today. And, wasn't ready, so I wrote down 2 of the words that I were having, like, a hard time spelling.
What you wrote on your hand?
Yeah.
Let me see it. 2 words.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's how the video was made. I didn't make the video. This was from
I didn't even get to look, get him at the point.
Explain.
Well, like, I was doing my test. I had my hand like that.
Oh, so you were like this?
Like, not like that, but like that. And I guess she thought I was cheating at the moment. And then she came over and flipped my hand and saw.
Did you know the consequences?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Let me refresh. 1, 0 on the quiz.
These weren't even like tests, they were just extra credit bonus questions.
2, if you do it again, 0 for the semester. And thirdly, Mom and Dad have to be notified.
Please don't go home. Okay? Just gonna flip out and then... Please don't go home.
You gonna be all right? I would give you a tissue, but I don't keep them in my office. Sorry about that. Perhaps I should.
Yeah.
Come on, suck it up. It's not that bad.
Just
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna flip out.
Yeah, It's just a call home.
It's so
Let's get a little bit darker so you guys can see it.
These are the consequences for cheating, Matthew. And you're gonna have to pay for what you did. Matthew, I believe you've learned your lesson. I believe that we move on from this point. You know that one more time, 0 for the course. Understood? All right, get on to class. I hope Matthew learned a lesson that you can't get ahead by cutting corners.
I'd rather not cheat again because it really wasn't worth it. The consequences were way worse than the reward would have been, so I'll try to study a lot more.
All right. Thank you.
All right, let's go, let's go.
Sorry about that, guys. I'll get that in just a second. Imagine this. You feel girly at the time when you started accused of cheating. If you're accused of cheating, you feel girly at the time. Because all you wanted to do was just get your grades a boost. There is one person out there who felt girly at the time. And he did feel girly. Let's go on and play it from you from the principal's office. One's called Girly Man. Then we'll take a break.
Sorry, my name is Jay. Jay? Teacher found a cheat sheet under a student's desk. Let's see if he fesses up or makes me work for it. I'm gonna take Steve with me so he can see firsthand how we deal with students in different situations. Well, we're gonna have a chat. My tactic with Jay was to sit down and use actual vocab words to get him to admit what they may or may not have done. Seems like we have a pretty contentious situation here. You look a little disheveled today. Vocab words.
When I sat down and he started saying those words, I knew exactly what he was talking about.
So there's a cheat sheet there?
My cheat sheet, it was like the most professional cheat sheet anybody would ever see. 20 words on it, neat handwriting and everything. Can't believe I got caught.
Is there anything you'd like to profess right now?
I cheated
Why did you cheat?
because I didn't study.
You cheated before?
No.
So you've never not studied for a test?
Well, I have, but I didn't cheat for it.
You just took the F. You took it like a man.
So you like a man, yeah.
Then why do you take this like a man?
Feeling girly at the time.
You were feeling girly.
My grades in that class are terrible, but I, give it a little boost.
Your grades are terrible. Maybe because you're not studying?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, did you give any thought to what would happen if you got caught?
No.
First offense. 0 on the assignment. And then you're subject to disciplinary action.
Like a detention, right?
Like a very long detention.
Alright.
Extremely long. You're gonna have a 120 detention tomorrow. Any questions?
No.
Mr. Quinn, you have any questions? Not right now. All right. Jay, go back to class.
Okay. Our greatest hits back to school edition continues. More videos about cheating. And then, one of my greatest hits ever is to talk about truancy. We'll talk about those when we return. Don't go away. And before we go, and again, I want to apologize for earlier. Someone was at the door. This will never happen again. So I really apologize for what happened. I will never do this kind of stuff again. We'll be right back. Let's bring you up to speed on some stories that we're following. First up in Oxford. From Fox 2 Detroit. Oxford high school shooting. Security guard accused of failing to act is now added into the lawsuit. So we have the superintendent. We have Ethan Crumley. We have the counselors. We have Ethan Crumbley's parents. Now we have the security guard for failing to act is now added into this lawsuit. According to Fox 2, the judge approved to add security guard to a lawsuit filed on behalf of all the victims in this shooting. According to attorney Ben Johnson, he filed the motion to add security guard Kimberly Potts. That's the name, Kimberly Potts, to the lawsuit that currently names Oxford school district officials and teachers, as well as against accused school shooter Ethan Crumbley and his parents James and Jennifer. Johnson said that based on security footage he watched, Potts failed to act on November 30th, the day that 4 students were murdered in that school. But according to Johnson, Potts, who was armed, Potts told investigators she thought the shooting was a drill. She also said that she walked past Tate Marie after he had been shot and thought he had makeup for the drill. Justin Schilling and Kagan Gregory, an accused shooter Ethan Crumbley, were inside that bathroom. Johnson said, Potts is seen on that video opening and closing the door with her gun in hand before walking away. Schilling was shot after she walked away. Schilling died the next day and was the 4th and final victim. He was arrested after walking out the bathroom. And that's where it all ended. So here's what we know so far. Ethan and his parents are in jail. Ethan's not in juvie because he's now charged as an adult. Lots of lawsuits happening. We will bring you up to date. We'll get you up to speed as this continues. And just 15 hours ago, click on Detroit. These parents are demanding answers amid the new allegations in that fatal shooting. Our kids are due back in a couple weeks, and we are really in no better position than we were on November 30th at this point. Local 4 spoke to one mother in attendance that day who said they, as the parents, want the truth. Now, that school board president who was in the school board, he did not want to watch the video. He would never watch. He doesn't want to watch the video at some point or other because he thinks it's disgrading. She said they feel they have waited and that they have been denied the truth at every turn. I know the truth. I know what I saw. We've been doing this for this season. I know what I saw. Now, what about Uvalde? Uvalde residents confront the school board over that horrible response to the shooting. This was updated yesterday. The frustration of the community is stewing from a mass shooting where a full display Monday night as a procession of residents confronted the school district leaders over their response to the massacre claimed the lives of 19 students and 2 teachers. Trustees at the Uvalde CSD board converted a special session to present plans for the upcoming school year, including security measures and an announcement that all students K-12 will be offered an opportunity to attend class virtually. Everybody wants results. Everybody wants answers. This is not going to be swept under the carpet. I heard the shots. I still hear that sound. Do you reply to failure to ask children still inside the classroom will haunt them every day? Trustees also face questions. The trust has been damaged. It's going to take all of us to fix it. And it is going to be fixed. I'm going to fix it by giving you the updates, while Uvalde is going to fix everything for security. And now what we know so far is that the former principal of Hobbs Elementary, has been moved to the administration. The assistant principal of the high school has now moved down to Hobbs because of everything that's going on. When we continue, cheating and truancy as our finale week continues. Stay with us. Well, it's finale week here. It's finale week as we end season 5 of Give Me a Break. Today we're going to be focusing on more of our greatest hits as our back to school as the first day of school goes on. Our final video from the principal's office is all about cheating. Then we're going to move on to skipping class. Here is an example from Lemon Bay. A student was caught cheating because of because of 2 forms of the test. His name is Nick, senior, worst shooter ever. Take a look.
Who do you think this might be from? You have any ideas?
No.
You haven't done anything wrong in any of your classes?
No.
You haven't done anything?
No.
3rd period math, you got a perfect 100% on your test.
I get 100 on a lot of tests.
How'd you get the answers?
I wrote them with a pencil.
What did you look at to get them?
I didn't look at anything.
I knew he was lying. I knew there was so much more to the story. So you're telling me you did not cheat?
Who else would get 100 next to me?
I don't know.
I bet no one did. There's no one around me that smart.
I'm not buying that. I'm going to call Mr. Murphy and have him come down so we can work this out.
No.
Yeah.
Well, once you call Mr. Murphy down, I pretty much knew I didn't know what else to do. I was just like...
Nick is adamant about the fact that he did not cheat. Those answers just came to him through natural phenomena.
Maybe.
Don't be shy now, because Mr. Murphy's here, Nick.
Yes, that's what I said.
You got 100% of the answers right, but for the wrong test.
Okay.
He gives out 2 forms of the test so that you all can't cheat off each other. Want to explain that?
Didn't happen.
That's very interesting, but obviously if you had all the right answers with the wrong form of the test, you must have cheated or gotten the right answer somehow from someone.
Was there anyone around me that had 100?
Absolutely. The person directly next to him had 100.
It's a coinkydink.
So you really want us to believe that it's just coincidence that you had all the right answers to the wrong test?
Yeah. I don't want you to believe, I want you to know.
Enough. How did you get the answers to the other test?
Well, hypothetically, what would be the consequences if I were to cheat?
It's a 0 on the test.
All I get is a 0 on the test. So what we got in the first place if I didn't cheat, so...
I happened to glance over and look at this kid's answers, but he did not give me the answers and did not support my wrongdoings.
Which were,
Cheating.
this time is a 0. If it happens again, it will be enough for the course.
Alright.
Okay?
Okay, so he got a 0. That's all he got. He got a 0. Now, I'm not going to play you the 2 other videos, but the one I described was from Inshore Productions from a kid named Gracie who broke all the school rules and got tackled by 2 security guards. And this could be great to use for videos. Alright. Moving on to Truancy now. Let me tell you, 5 years on this show. I'm telling you that. 5 years. We have covered truancy. It ranges in from getting police involved to sending kids to juvie and arresting parents. We're going to try to focus in on those things throughout the next 6 to 7 minutes. Or 6 to 8 minutes, actually. So, let's take a look at one of the greatest hits. This one was from 8 years ago. Law enforcement sweeps for parents and truant students. Take a look.
Hope that our kids stay in school, but sometimes it takes the Kern County High School District to make sure of it. 23 ABC's Lauren Etlinger took a ride with officers today as they went door to door getting answers.
3 Kern County police departments teamed up and set out to talk to students who miss school on a consistent basis and find out why.
Did those were prescriptions?
Yeah. In order to increase school attendance and decrease juvenile delinquency.
As a senior, I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of, you're losing a lot of things as you go. So you don't mess up that year.
When kids are not in school, then statistics show that they're participating in negative behaviors.
Police!
And Develia says there are long-term consequences if they don't graduate.
They have higher odds of living in poverty, and the odds of them getting full-time jobs are much more difficult.
Police say families should keep a close eye on their kids to make sure they're going to classes.
And now parents actually have the option of tracking their students' attendance online or on their smartphone.
But along with the ease of tracking your child, there's also social media, something most kids use today to warn others that a sweep was on. But even so, some parents still defended their kids' absences.
But he is there, I guarantee it, because he don't lie to his parents, he don't get in trouble, he's not one of these hoodlums that are out smoking dope.
Bottom line, kids,
the best place for students is in school all day, every day.
I'm Lauren Etlinger.
We will need a TV camera because I'll take it all away.
23 ABC.
And if a student is guilty of truancy, it can mean fines, suspended licenses, and or juvenile hall. As for the parents, they can face revoked welfare benefits and even jail time.
And that's the truth here. Now let's focus in on the kids who were truant but taken into juvenile hall.
Stay in school. That is a message most kids are all too familiar with, and it is a phrase that carries some real weight with BPD. 23 ABC's Lindsay Adams shows us what happens if your child decides to play hooky one too many times.
What do you do when you don't go to school?
The School Attendance Review Board and Bakersfield Police are cracking down on students that are habitually truant.
All of the students today have not listened to not only the law, but have not listened to a Superior Court judge.
Police say it's important to keep on going to school because if you don't, well, you could end up in juvenile hall.
Show myself in Sam Ocean 4 and Mount BHS, attempt to locate.
Some students who have missed, I have several students that are going to be there this afternoon that have missed really the entire school year.
The students taken into juvenile hall have failed at least 6 intervention steps with the school district.
I know there are some kids that have to go back to juvenile hall, but most of them understand that we're not playing around, that they need to be in school.
But the time in juvenile hall is well spent. The kids are introduced to mentoring groups and programs with former probation officers.
Teaching personal responsibility to make sure that this behavior doesn't continue. And then a local group from Stay Focused Ministries have been involved for the last couple of years.
Police say the kids are booked into juvenile hall on Fridays and are released on Sunday. The truancy sweeps are held every month. In Bakersfield, Lindsay Adams, 23 ABC.
And what a great way to spend a 3-day weekend in juvie. One of my main focuses is to get parents. One of my main focuses here was to get parents a wake-up call. If you don't send your kids to school, you could go to jail. Let's take a look at a couple clips. Let's take a look at a few clips. A few news clips from even one from years ago. 40 parents were arrested in the truancy. This was 13. Mind you, this was 13 years ago. Take a look at this.
You can continue to keep having pizzas delivered for $6.99 each, as well.
All right, take a look.
Children didn't show up to class, so the parents ended up in handcuffs. Local law enforcement hopes it sends a strong message to parents to get involved in their child's lives. Well, tonight, KCRA3's Leticia Ordaz spoke with some mothers who spent the day behind bars.
I
son is in a charter school program, and they still arrested me.
Tonight, this mother who would not give us her name was released after spending the entire day locked up at the Sacramento County Jail.
How did you feel, though, to be arrested today? It's degrading, it's humiliating, it's harassment.
Today, 100 officers throughout Sacramento joined forces with the district attorney's office to arrest nearly 40 parents who have warrants for not sending their children to school.
The importance is that we want to get a message to the parents that you need to send your kids to school every day and be on time every day. We want to get those kids educated so they don't fall in the cracks, they don't get in trouble with the law.
It's a message this parent got quickly. When she was released from jail this evening, she was too upset to talk. Her brother Richard, who would only give us his first name, told us the truancy sweep targeting parents was unfair and humiliating.
Oh, I'm not happy because I feel it was a waste of time. I feel that they could have spent this time going after criminals, looking for a child, not doing a truancy sweep.
See the hoods that they're wearing. Obviously, they know the school has cameras.
Vince Matrenga is the police chief for the Sacramento City Schools. He can only hope the sweep will get more students in the classroom during school hours and fewer teens destroying school property after hours.
When kids don't go to school, everyone loses.
Many parents are bailing out of jail tonight, but one mother who's been arrested before will have to stay here for 45 days. In Sacramento, Leticia Ordaz, KCRA 3 reports.
And it's a big problem going on. And people have fought back. So, our final clip of the day from our greatest hits. A Wyoming woman was charged for her daughter's truancy.
Story that you'll see only right here on 8, a West.
Her mother was arrested because of her medical issues and...
Daddy, a deli payment.
8-year-old Ariana Klosterman says she likes school, likes showing off class projects like this chart on the life of the Adelie penguin.
It's a small penguin that lives in Antarctica.
The problem, Ariana has a hard time getting to school. So the law says it's her mom's fault.
Between the last 3 years, there were over 100 absences. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's why Adriana's mom, Tanya Klosterman, appeared in front of a judge this week. She's charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Klosterman's court appearance comes despite the efforts of the Godfrey Lee School District's anti-truancy program.
The reason we're meeting on her is...
We first told you about the program in early 2013. Instead of going after the older kids, middle school, junior, and senior high students who should be able to get themselves to school on time, it targets the problem at a much earlier age.
We found that in most cases that where we started to see significant absences or tardiness, it was at the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade level.
It's 5 days and the parents get a call. Psychologists, social workers, teachers, and others in the community work with the child's family to get them back in school. It could be something as simple as providing a ride or daycare.
And we've been able to reach out to the community and get some resources, much needed resources to help these families that are in need.
But if the initial sessions don't work, police get involved. But that's one way to measure the success of the program. Out of dozens of parents who have been through it, Klosterman is the first parent to face a judge. And while her mom says Ariana's back on track when it comes to attendance lately, she says there's good reason her daughter missed over 100 days of school in a 3-year period. Klosterman says Ariana has a host of medical problems. Getting her to the doctor is a big challenge.
And I have no choice. Just like she, for her medication reviews, I have to pull her out when they have them scheduled because I cannot change that appointment.
But the success of the Godfrey Lee program has been the ability to help people in extreme situations, like Ariana's.
The family was making some efforts. A lot of advice was given. Some of it was followed, some of it wasn't. And then ultimately at some point, that cooperation dropped off.
Tanya Klosterman was given probation and court costs. If she sticks with the school's plan and keeps Ariana in school, the case will be dismissed.
A friend?
Now that's one way to do it. We could have time to continue looking into this, but I feel like we've already discussed enough truancy throughout this year as we get the kids back in school. And the old message is, stay in school. That's the bottom line. That's Give Me a Break for this Wednesday. We will see you again for Give Me a Break Friday. Don't forget to stand up to bullying and to stop bullying, speak up, because if you stand up to bullying, if you're a bully, you too could be a superstar. Goodbye, everyone.